Central bank digital currencies. Is this the new world order? What Americans have to fear and how to prepare. That and more when we come back. Good evening and welcome to Unabashedly Speaking with Mimi and Mashonda. I am Mashonda.
And I am Mimi.
And we got our girl Elisa Plessy back in the house. Welcome, Elisa. How you doing?
Hey, girl.
Hey, honey. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we good. I'm good.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
You look good.
And we definitely miss you. You know, you are our favorite guest thus far. Nothing against any other guests that we have. All right, we love you all. But yeah, I've had a good week. Been spending some time with my nephew. Last month I was spending time with my niece. Now we got to spend time with my nephew. So it's been a really good week.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
To say
That
goodbye.
is good. I'm happy for you guys. Did he enjoy him here?
Yes, he did. He had a really great time. Him and the boys really bonded really well. They made a music video, so y'all stay tuned. My nephew be making music, y'all, and he's really good at it.
For that one.
So
Okay.
I can't wait, y'all. Y'all gonna be seeing the music video with the boys when it comes out. So, all right, y'all. Let's talk about this CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. Woo! I'm not ready.
I don't think any of us are ready. But we gonna have to get ready.
So if y'all haven't really been paying attention to what's going on, you know, y'all think that whole situation with the Cash App guy was what y'all hearing on the news. But this FedNow that's coming out, FedNow is the new Cash App that just so happened to come out like 3 days after the Cash App guy passed away or, you know, got killed, unalived, whatever. And now all of a sudden there's this FedNow and they are talking about this central bank digital currency. We're going to play this small clip right now so y'all can get familiar with what we're talking about, and then we'll keep talking about it.
To say goodbye to Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Cash App. FedNow is coming and you don't have a choice. FedNow is a payment service by the government coming out in July that your bank will have to sign up for, which is the first step to make the dollar digital. Now, how does this work? Well, if you buy something on Amazon, your money won't go directly to Amazon anymore. It will first go through the Fed's account and then go to Amazon. This means the government will know everything you use your money for, and if they want to, they can reject any purchase you make, take money out whenever, and decide what you can and can't spend your money on. Yes, it will be faster for payments to settle, easier to get stimulus, and lowers costs that you have to pay to your banks, but your privacy is gone. So is it truly worth it? And guess what? You don't even have a choice to participate or not. Our banks are the ones who will decide for us, so follow.
All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this stuff got me terrified. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, low key, I'm a little bit worried. You know, because they already doing this stuff in China. Okay, have y'all ever seen the Black Mirror?
Yes.
Y'all remember the nosedive episode? The episode where they were rating people on how they act and their credit. They are doing that already in China. That people are really on this social credit system based on how they are acting. They have already implemented this central bank digital currency in China. So if they act out of line, or if they, you know, don't want them to, like, let's say another outbreak happens and they try to leave the country, they will just shut everybody's money down. You ain't going nowhere. Or if you do something you shouldn't be doing, or be mean to somebody, they shutting your money off just like this.
Yep. Exactly.
So, some people are like, so what? I don't use cash anyway, blah, blah, blah. But it's more than just turning the money digitally. When it's a part of this CBDC, they have literally control over your funds at the flip of a switch. They have AI, and that's the other thing. It is AI that is monitoring this stuff. It's not even humans. AI is monitoring. We already know. So what happens if the AI malfunctions? All that stuff. Like, come on.
Right.
This is the new world order. If y'all don't see it, this is the new world order. And they have been talking about having one world currency since about 2012.
Yeah, and they were even talking about the barcodes too. Remember putting the barcodes?
They already. Some people walking around here with RFID. I can't even. The chips. It's like RFID or whatever it is, but the chips under their skin, the barcodes and things like that. So, listen, y'all. This is not okay.
It's not.
Because what do we do? Like, what do we do? There's no way around it.
The sad part about it is that, again, we hear things and we don't, and when I say we, I mean the world. They don't see the seriousness in it because they're distracted by so many other things, and they're not going to do anything or want to fight about it until it actually happens, and it's time to start doing that now. But nobody wants to take the stance to do it. You really think this is a game, and the problem is that they don't need to put you in chains to control you anymore. They're going to make you get a job, and they're going to pay you, but like you said, say something say something the wrong way, and they'll cut your money off. If they think you're ordering too much toilet paper, they'll stop you. They'll put limits on you. It's a form of control. And again, no one wants to deal with it. Everybody's going to start fighting and asking questions and acting a fool when it's in your face. And that is not the time to do it. The time to start saying something and calling out your people in Congress and making them accountable. What is going on? This is not what we want.
Right.
When you don't say nothing, you allow people to control you. Yes. So I've said this before being here. We have to stop being in a place of thinking that this is not going to happen or nobody's going to control us. Yes.
Right.
And absolutely, they're going to control us. They absolutely want to control you. Slavery doesn't mean chains anymore because they know they can't do that anymore. But if they can control your money, if they can control my mouth, so you have to start preparing. Because when this goes down, there ain't going to be no grocery stores open. It ain't going to be no leaving your house.
No.
So you better make sure you have water. You better make sure you have non-perishable food. You better make sure that you can be able to, until everybody faces, since nobody wants to step up to the plate, then there's going to be a lot of people that's going to have to go off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to live off the grid to have your freedom. You're going to have to be self-dependent, and that's the problem. The government wants you to be dependent on them, and when you're not dependent on them, be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. Because I am one of them who is preparing.
Yeah.
Because this mouth, you can't control in this life or the next.
That is
because my belief is, I will die before I let you. Death is more honorable than being controlled. That's my opinion. Everybody's scared, walking around, I don't want to die. Baby, death is your beginning, not your end. And until you realize that the world that you're trying to stay in is going to control everything about you, you're going to be like mini robots. Can I move to the left? No, you can't. So if that's the way that you want to live, then that's on you. I'm saying this situation is very serious.
It is very serious.
And people talking about, I'm going to move to China. I'm going to move to. It doesn't matter where you move.
No, this is a worldwide thing.
Government, right?
And there's several countries that are already implementing this.
Doing it. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like exactly. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna go back to Africa. I'm gonna go to this country. I'm gonna go to that country. No, it's gonna be all over, y'all. This is a new world order, not just America. And again, there are several countries that are already implementing this. And like she says, they like to use a lot of celebrity news and this, that, and the other to distract people from what's really going on. So you're not connecting the dots. You're not paying attention. And then when you do hear it, you just shrug it off because you get distracted by something else. And then once it gets here, it's too late. When you can control somebody's money, you almost have complete control, because the only thing that they have left to decide is whether they're just going to live on the land and fend for themselves, or they're going to conform. There's really not too many options you have left.
Right.
So once they start controlling your way to eat and provide for yourself and your children, that is pretty much almost complete control. The only other choice you have is to die, really. You know what I mean?
And that's what they want. If you don't follow their plan and their protocol, then they're not going to help you. You're not going to get any money. You're not going to get any food. You're not going to be able to speak your mind.
No.
And so, for me, as long as I'm here, that is not an option for me.
Right. Freedom of speech.
All I can do is warn my brothers and sisters. And let me say this. This is not a color thing, because it's going to happen to everybody.
Everybody.
So when I say my brothers and sisters, I mean all of you. All of you. Don't think that your skin color is going to determine, because unless you're really up on that, government or real high, then you're going to deal with this. So this is not an issue of color. So all I'm saying to my brothers and sisters is that you need to prepare. You need to get yourself together. You need to stand on the backs of our ancestors and stand tall and realize you will be provided for.
Yes.
When you will be provided for, if that means you have to provide for yourself, because that's what we do. We will take care of ourselves. We had whole cities till they blew them up. Remember Black Wall Street? Mm-hmm. So it is very possible for us to live off the grid and be successful, because that's what I would do before I conform to that. Because that's not the way I'm going to be. So I'm going to speak for me, and that's not the way that I want you to be, but I can't force anybody's hand. My message is to prepare, and prepare well. Learn how to grow your own food. Learn how to live off the grid. Learn how to make shelters out of nothing, out of the lumber from wherever you're at. You can make shelters. So, you have to start preparing for these things, to find water sources. You have to, it is unfortunate, getting two-way radios, making sure that you have tents and proper, tools to be able to fend for yourself and take care of yourself. Can it be done? Yes. Right. Will it be difficult? Yes. But we will be free. And to me, that's more important than anything in the world. Before I let you control me, I will be free. Whether it's standing up or laying down, I'm free. I'm good. And that's what I'm now. So
I agree. And it's like now is the time too where we have to start weaning ourselves off of these prescription medications and go holistic, because if this does happen, you won't have access to your medicine either.
Right. So let me give them an answer to that. Oregano, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil is the most powerful antibiotic that you can make. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the only two ingredients that you need. Extra virgin olive oil and oregano. Okay? You got a toothache? Cloves. Start stocking up on some cloves. Mm-hmm. Cloves is 10 times stronger than Novocaine.
They actually use clove oil in the dentist. They just don't tell you what they're using.
Right. Possibly, yeah. Very, very good. But I'm saying, so, if that's the case, that's the kind of thing, cinnamon, different things like that. Cinnamon actually lowers blood sugars. You know, so these are things that you have to start studying, start preparing, starting to learn how to make. They're not difficult at all. Start getting you some whiskey, some lemon, and some honey, and you can make you some cough syrup.
Yep.
10 times better than anything that you can buy in the store. So I want y'all to start doing that and start taking this very seriously, because it's when this hits, that, like I said, there's no leaving the house.
Yeah, and there is no freedom of speech. Speech is not going to be free anymore.
And it's going to tell you how this works, and they're going to make you sit there, and they're going to make you watch that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, prepare yourself, learn about the different medications, you know, stock up on things that you can carry, get you tents, get you things that you know that if you have to go off the grid, that you can make it, and you could, because like I said, for me, this is about my control. And I don't want to be controlled.
Right.
I want to live in peace and I want to live in harmony. But when it comes to those kind of stakes, like I said, whether I'm standing up or laying down, I will remain free. And I want the same for y'all. And believe me, when communities come together, we can build something they would be amazed at.
That's right.
They would be amazed at. And they know we're capable of it. They destroyed it before. They destroyed Black Wall Street, blew it up, because they realized we didn't need them to make it. We don't need them to make it. You think you do, but you don't. If you stop worrying about your phones and your television and worry about the television, listen to what I said again, television, because it's going to tell you some lies. That's what it's there for, television.
And why do you think it's called a television program?
Because that human side of, but when you open his eye, you can see the television.
That's why they call it. That's why they call it a television program, or the next program, because they be programming you.
Programming, television programming.
Yep.
That's what it is. This is why your 3-year-old can tell you what a lie is. Because they see it on TV. It's been programmed already in their head.
Yep.
This is why they know, without you even telling them, that they have female parts, because the cartoons are telling them for you.
Yes. Yeah.
It's programming. Same way in your school system. It's programming.
It's all a part of programming and conditioning.
All a part of the programming and conditioning of your mind. And that's why I always talk about Bob Marley in that one state. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Because
what do you think? Y'all need to get into y'all's etymology. Government.
Attacking your children. That's right here.
Y'all need to get into your etymology. It says it right there. The word government. Govern means to control. Ment means menses, means the mind. So it control the mind. That's what the government is set up for. And you know, all this, y'all think, you know, y'all gonna be on social media and y'all have freedom of speech. Speech ain't gonna be free. Let me tell you right now, when this goes into effect, every little thing that you do, you're going to have to pay for it. You ain't going to be able to just say what you want no more. We shoot. This podcast.
And half the time, you can't say what you want now without them cutting you off.
Just like right now, the stuff we're talking about. They'll shut you down so quick just for telling the truth. They don't even have to deal with you. You ain't even going to know what's going on. They watching you. They listening to you. They got stuff everywhere in your phones and your TVs. You know, they are listening at all times. You might be in a personal conversation with somebody. The next thing you know, you can't use your money. Like, this stuff is real. Y'all think this is make-believe because they put it in movies to make you feel like, oh, when you hear it, oh, that's just a conspiracy, or to make it sound like it's a fantasy. But this stuff is real.
It's real. Those movies, they've been telling you about inoculations when Will Smith did that movie. What is it, I Am or something like that?
Yes.
They were showing you. You don't understand how this works. They have to show it to you in order for them to do it, because they have to be able to say, we told them. You just didn't believe it. You thought it was a movie.
Yes.
You thought it was. You think that these superheroes, these Marvel movies, are just something that they made up. No, these things are very real.
Yeah.
They're very much real.
They sure are.
You think that they're not real, but they are.
Yeah, they told you a lot. The Jim Carrey movie, The Truman Show.
Yeah, for sure. That
Yep.
one, yeah.
Pay attention to these movies. Remember the movies that Will Smith was in when the robots turned on each other and they turned
Yeah,
out on us?
yeah,
Believe
AI.
me. When you talk about the purge, believe me, those things are going to happen. Whether I'm here to see them, I hope you remember what I'm telling you. Those things are going to happen.
They already starting to happen, right? And you know, everybody's all excited about all this AI stuff. Come on, y'all.
Right.
It's happening, and so you have to prepare yourself. You really have to prepare yourself. And this is the problem. We don't fight. You're just complacent with it, and as long as you stay complacent with it, then that's on you. You be controlled. I can't do it. Me and mine, we can't do it, and we won't do it. And that's coming straight out of the horse's mouth right here. So all I can do for my brothers and sisters, hopefully this situation, this conversation will open your minds to prepare, because that's the thing. You think it's a game and a joke, it's not going to happen, and they're going to catch you unprepared.
Yes.
Right.
Unprepared.
Yes,
you ain't caught me unprepared. And I'm telling you to get yourself prepared before y'all be in a situation and there ain't nothing you can do about it until they're ready. They're going to make sure they put you in the job that they want you in. You don't even get to choose your job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's factual. You won't even get to control your job anymore. You
Over
can't say, well, I don't like my
time,
job.
they have
You
more
won't be able
and
to say, I
more.
don't like this job. I'm going to look for me another one. Nope.
Yes.
So think about that.
What people don't realize is we have been groomed for decades now. More and more, our rights have slowly been taken away from us, and people don't even see it. All these things that we can't do, like you get in trouble for just sitting here trying to defend your child, or you know what I'm saying, or anything that you try to do. Like if your child is being mistreated, they'll put you in jail. You go up to the school trying to be combative or whatever. I'm not saying fighting, but any little thing you do against the system, they will put you in jail so quickly. So many rights that you used to have, you don't even have anymore. And people do not even realize that things have been changing right before their eyes. And we think that we live in a free country. Y'all, you live in a delusional world if you think that you are free in this country.
Exactly. Remember what I told you on another show? I said we have to learn the difference between freedom and liberties.
Right.
We have never had freedom. Because if we had freedom, we don't need a person to sign a paper. My Caucasian brothers and sisters don't have a paper saying that they can vote. We have to have that. So no, we're not truly free.
No.
We have never been free.
No.
They gave us liberties. Okay? And so, like I said again, we have to start getting our community leaders involved. We have to start holding the people that we vote into office accountable. But as long as you don't say nothing and then you accept it when it happens, please don't complain.
Yes. Now I know
there's
people
and cry, because this is what this conversation is for. And I'm warning you and I'm begging you, actually, prepare yourself. Your whole lives are about to change.
Now, I know that there's people out there who like, well, maybe you don't feel like you're strong enough to make the kind of changes that she's talking about. And so you're wondering, well, what else can we do to prepare besides, going off the grid and things like that? Are there other things you can do to prepare? And yeah, there are some other things that you can do as of right now to prepare by getting more and more digital currency that is like not a part of the CBDC. Things like Bitcoin and things like that are not a part of these CBDCs. And then they were talking about putting the currency on a ledger so that it is not inside the program. Here's a video here. We're going to play real quickly, and it will explain to you more about what is going on, and also some things that can be done to prepare, other than what we were talking about just now. Y'all stay tuned.
Let me film my final message explaining how this is unfair and unjust. We filmed it, we produced it, we got it all edited within 12 hours, had it so ready to go, but we couldn't post it because of the YouTube strike. So we're waiting for the YouTube strike to expire. A few hours before the YouTube strike expires, guess what happens? They banned me from YouTube. Then they banned me from Discord. Then they banned me from Airbnb. They banned me from Stripe. I can't even remember. It was just emails coming in faster than you could believe. Ban.
So
the
it wasn't just the socials.
Oh, no. The Matrix presses a button, my friend.
Yeah.
And every app on your phone stops working. Coordinate effort all at once. Every single one of them just goes, no. Delete. And they come at you with everything.
And Stripe.
Banks.
Payment processing.
And banks. UK-based banks as well. High Street, banks. But I can name Santander, HSBC, Barclays, etc. all at the same time. Oh, no, sorry, to change, we've decided because blah, blah, some bullshit, some letter, close your accounts. So they take all your banking, they take your payment processing, they take all your social media presence, they take your Discord, they take your Skype, they take all your accounts, your ability to communicate with people, and then they lie about you in the press.
A central bank digital currency, everything changes. The base layer is a government-controlled central bank digital currency. So even if you get locked out of a bank or an app and hop over to a new one, well, the base layer can freeze your money. Central bank digital currencies, pretty dangerous. And when we look at them, most people see it as a very convenient, easy solution, but they ignore all of the negatives that come along with it. With a CBDC, everything can be tracked. And if a state or a government doesn't like what you're doing, they can freeze your money, they can block a transaction. And I'm not even talking about illegal activities. Maybe you went to a basketball game in public and you got drunk. Or maybe you cursed out your neighbor and the authorities, they don't like that, so they punish you and they control the way you use your money. And now you can't get on a certain train, or maybe you can't eat at your favorite restaurant. Not too long ago, the United States put sanctions on Tornado Cash. This is a privacy app built on top of Ethereum, and the government didn't like it. So they said any assets that went through this application should be blacklisted or frozen. And they forced Circle, the creators of USDC, to freeze the USDC that went through Tornado Cash. USDC is not real cryptocurrency. It is a 100% centralized cryptocurrency. When we talk about government CBDCs, there is a 0% chance they will make a decentralized version. It will 100% be centralized. They will control the supply, they will track it, they will know who is spending money on what, and they can freeze your money at any time. China has a social credit system. Citizens will be given points or have points taken away based off of their behavior. If, for example, someone donates blood or participates in charity work, they will be given points and they may get certain rewards such as access to a free gym or shorter wait times in hospitals. But on the opposite end, if someone doesn't visit their aging parents, or they cheat in an online game, or they spread rumors on the internet, they will be punished and they may lose certain privileges. For example, exclusion from flights or train tickets, restricted access to public services, no access to private schools, and public shaming. It's really scary. And the reason certain regions in China were able to do this program successfully is because certain regions in China are nearing cashless societies. The primary form of payment is digital, with popular apps such as WeChat and Alipay. And if you can control someone's money, you control their life. It's really scary. And unfortunately, it's likely only going to get worse because China is at the forefront of CBDCs. And they have been testing CBDCs in several regions in China. And eventually, when CBDCs control the entire country, China will have absolute control. There will be no running away. Everything that a user spends will be tracked and money can be frozen or blocked at any moment. And eventually, it will be here. So what can we do to stop it? The answer is nothing. They will be here. Some this year, some next year, some within the next 5 years. And when that happens, absolute control over your money. So what can we do to prepare? And that is getting our hands on money that no one can take from us. Money that no one can block. And you know what that reminds me of? Decentralized cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or something like Monero for privacy. And I don't say this from a money-making perspective. I'm not making this video to say buy Bitcoin, buy Monero, or buy any other cryptocurrency in anticipation of CBDC so that the money will explode. Although I do think when the world wakes up to the harms of CBDCs and the value of a decentralized cryptocurrency, I do think cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin will explode. But instead, I am making this video from a practical sense of freedom. You never know when you'll need some money in the event of an emergency, and it would probably be a very wise decision to get some cryptocurrency and save it for the future. And I'm not talking about a large amount or thinking, how am I gonna make money or do a 300% profit on my money? I'm just talking about taking a small amount, which could be different for each person. For some, it's 200, for some 1,000, some 10,000, and store it offline on a cold wallet. A big mistake many people will make is buy Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies thinking that they are securing their freedom for the future, but they keep it on a centralized exchange. If crypto is on a centralized exchange, it is no better than a CBDC. The exchange can control your money and take it from you at any time. I still use exchanges. I'm not saying I'm against them, but on the opposite end, it's probably a wise decision to have crypto offline in a cold wallet, such as a Trezor or a Ledger. If you don't have a cold wallet at this point and you have been in crypto for a while, go ahead and get one.
All right, y'all. So getting a ledger, they said, getting a ledger. And you know, I was looking these ledgers up to try to see how it works. So apparently it's like you get the money, you get the Bitcoin, and then you can transfer it to what they call a cold wallet. These ledgers are like a cold wallet. So it's kind of, essentially, it's just like a flash drive to hold digital currency. So that way, if anybody tries to shut your stuff down, some of your money is not in the system. It's on this cold wallet. So like they won't get all your money. My only thing is, that's cool and all, but then how do you use it?
That's the thing. How do you use it?
I'm still trying to find out how this all works. Now, supposedly, like Bitcoin, Bitcoin is one of them ones that you know, supposedly if you put it in Bitcoin, it is safe in Bitcoin, and the other one he was talking about. Because those are not but to me, like if the government really wants to shut it down, they'll shut it down. Now it might not be a part of the central bank digital currency to where it's just like switch, but it don't mean that they can't access, you know what I mean, the Bitcoin. Like it might, Bitcoin is not a part of that new world order currency, but if the government wants to shut it down, they'll shut it down. You know what I mean? So, but this is what the people who are really, you know, into this currency, the people who really have knowledge of how it all works, that's what they're suggesting that you do, is you get you some Bitcoin, and you get you a cold wallet to store it on. So those are other options that they are suggesting. But again, stock up on stuff, because like, look, in the event that somebody shuts down your money and you have some food to buy, like we don't know that. I doubt that they will shut it down forever, because then if we live in a world where they shut your money down forever, then we know we in the last days, because ain't no way.
You seen that bunker that that guy made, right?
The
bunker?
Oh, they've been making bunkers, but yeah.
Too, but we all go find him and go stay with him.
Yeah, right.
We want to stay with him.
I'm telling you, y'all people who got land, y'all need to start making some safe havens. If you got land, you need to start building up your land, start planting on your land if you already have land. If you don't have land, over the next couple of years, if you are able to invest in land, you want to invest in land and start planting seeds, even if you don't live on that land, because it takes time for crops to grow, y'all. So if you can buy some land, if this is something that you can do, you can afford to do it now. And the first thing you need to do before you even set up shop is start planting seeds. All kind of trees that bear fruit, all kind of vegetables, you know, anything. That is what you need to start doing right now. You know, if you can make you one of them rain catcher water systems that catches the rain and purifies the water, or even though you can boil it, you know what I'm saying? Get you one of them rain catchers, start getting you some water going, you know, like all that. Whoever can afford to buy land, plant seeds.
Plant seeds, get together, get a community. That's one of the things I suggest, and that we all get together, you know, put something here, put something over there, that we can all buy a piece of land and learn how to live together and work together on the land.
Yes.
And so that, you know, if you choose not to be a part of being controlled, that you can survive and just live in harmony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
and
real
so
talk.
That's the strongest thing that I can tell you, really, is be prepared mentally. It's going to be hard. It will not be easy. It will not be easy. But to me, my freedom is worth it.
Hell yeah.
My freedom is worth it.
And sometimes land is very cheap, y'all. You know, like I'm saying, you can find some cheap land. It might not be like ready for no house to be built, but this is just to secure this is a backup plan. So even if you don't plan on ever living on that land, you better start growing. So in case shit, that's your in case shit land. So in case shit happens, you go there with your tent or whatever you have, and you're going to at least be able to survive.
Yep.
Real talk. So we all that need to be the goal for 2023, is to invest in some land, because right now, even if we realistically, even if we were to stock up and be prepared for these kind of conditions to have food and stuff like that, if you ain't got nowhere to go with it, then it's kind of a moot point. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to pay your rent or your mortgage. You lucky if you own your house, but you still got to pay your property taxes and whatever. So, you know, you really need to have your own land. And again, like if you have people, y'all can get together and build your own communities. That would be a great thing too. That's always been something I wanted to do, is have a large piece of land where I built a community of people. You know, we all come and live and work the land together and make it self-sustaining. That's what we need to start working towards, y'all. Real talk.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Yes.
That is your way to survive it. If not, then be happy in a world that you're controlled. You have no freedom of nothing.
Yeah.
So,
and if y'all ain't never watched the Black Mirror, watch Black Mirror on Netflix and watch the episode called Nosedive. This is literally, maybe not to the extent of that show, but this is what is going on. This is your future. Y'all gonna be scared after you see that, when you find out that this is what's really happening in the world. It's sickening. But we gonna go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, word on the streets, y'all. Stay tuned.
Incredible change happens in life when you decide to take control of what you do have power over, instead of worrying about what you don't. House of Healing Hands. Take control. Gain back your power.
Yesterday the sky was gray, but now I see such a beautiful ray.
All right, so we are back with word on the streets. So Harry Belafonte, Mimi.
This is so sad. Like, I mean, I understand, you know, we all have to transition one day, but it's really sad. But Mr. Belafonte was born March 1st, 1927. 1927. And he transitioned on April 25th, 2023.
That's a blessing, though. He lived 96 years. Go ahead.
Yes, that's a blessing within itself, because we all know not many people are, living that long, unfortunately. But he stated himself that he wasn't an artist who became an activist. He said, I was an activist who became an artist. He wrote his memoir in 2011. He said, ever since his mother had drummed it into me, and I felt the need to fight for injustice wherever I saw it, in whatever way I could. So that's a blessing within itself, that he did more than just music.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that.
So he's also the king of calypso music.
Yes.
Yes. And he's one of the few performers to have received an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony EGOT status. Although he won the Oscar in a non-competitive category, he earned his career breakthrough with the album Calypso in 1956, which was his first million-selling LP by a single artist. So that is awesome. And he leaves behind his children, and I'm pretty sure he had grandchildren and so on and so forth.
Yeah, 96, he probably had a few.
The song that always sticks is Deo. That's the one that always sticks in my head.
Come and me one
One of my
home.
Yes, but he also recorded and performed in many genres, including blues, folk, gospel, show tunes, and American standards. He also starred in films such as Carmen Jones in 1954, Island in the Sun in 1957, Odds Against Tomorrow, 1959, Buck and the Preacher, 1972, and Uptown Saturday Night, 1974. And he made his final screen appearance in Spike Lee's Black Klansman in 2018.
Wow.
Yes, I mean, he accomplished a lot. He accomplished a lot.
Yes, he did.
And we're grateful for everything that he has done. But he had a vocal critic of the policies of George W. Bush and Donald Trump administration. So he did speak his truth when it came to politics. He didn't let anything pass him by. He wanted to make sure that he tried to take a stand and fight for justice. So with that being said, we send our prayers and condolences to his family, and may he rest, love, and power.
Yes. And another legend, but for all different type of status. We lost another one in the entertainment world. Jerry Springer also went home this past week.
Yeah, Jerry had succumbed to his battle with pancreatic cancer. And we all are aware of Jerry Springer's show. Jerry Springer's show brought the ratchetness to daytime talk shows. Like, he started it before it was any other shows. He brought the ratchetness, the craziness, everything. Like, that show was,
That show was hilarious.
A bit much.
Yeah,
it was a bit, but yeah, he's the king of that.
Yes.
And we send our prayers and condolences to his family and friends as well.
But he was also a mayor, so let's not forget he wasn't just.
Yeah, he was the mayor of Cincinnati.
And from what I hear, he was a really nice guy. Like, a lot of people are posting on TikTok their video footage that they have from meeting Jerry, like in the streets and stuff. And they all say that he was just a really nice guy. You know what I mean? So, and he seemed like he was a cool guy. I mean, just from how he acted on the show, he seemed really cool. So, you know, that is very unfortunate. I mean, he was 79 years old, but to me, that still could be young. You know what I mean? Because if you can live almost 100 years, 79, 80, you still got almost 20 more years you could live. So you never know. So,
yeah.
So we definitely send our prayers and condolences. Now, look, Bringing us to the third passing we gonna talk about this week. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry that we don't give our prayers and condolences, and we don't wish that heifer rest in peace. But go ahead and talk about that whole Carolyn.
Wait a minute. Okay, so the evil lady, Carolyn Bryant Donham, she died in hospice care on Tuesday night in Westlake, Louisiana. Now, for those of you who don't know who she is, she's the evil lady that lied on Emmett Till, and she is the reason that Emmett is no longer living. It is all her fault. She lied and said that he tried to make advances at her, and he did not. So her lies cost him his life in a horrible, traumatic, traumatizing way.
That poor baby.
Way that had his family and the entire world that was, the black people looking in, devastated. Like, this rocked the nation when this happened to Emmett Till. And I can't imagine his parents, having to muster up the strength to even talk about it. But yeah, so she's gone, and good riddance to her.
And she lived too long, in my opinion. But her and the whole leader of the KKK, they gonna be somewhere on the cross burning together for all eternity, because this that was a baby. He was 14 years old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they brutally murdered that baby.
Yep.
And
that was one of the most, and I apologize for, one of the most awesome things that his mother did and was brave, was to let her see her son that way. That was when I tell you that was a brave moment. That was like fearless to me.
Yes,
Yes. She wanted the world to see what they did.
Exactly, the realities. Yes.
What they did to her son. Mm-hmm. You wasn't going to dress it up. You wasn't going to close it. She didn't allow it to be swept under the rug. She let the world see what they did to her child.
Yes.
And so, and I hate to be like that, but I really don't have nothing for it, because not one time did you ever apologize.
No.
Right.
Not one time did you, when you saw how they did this child, ever say, something that wasn't right, and I need to make it right. You can't bring them back, but at least try your best to make it right, and you never did that. So whatever you're getting in the universe over there, sweetie, I hope you like it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it happened so long ago, but anybody who's familiar with that story, it's still like, it touches your heart. And he ain't the only one. Like, there's a lot of situations like this, but this one was brought to the limelight. It did bring awareness. His mother was very strong and very courageous for what she did, and she became an activist, and she helped a lot of things in that movement back in the days. So, yeah, we're happy about this one. And like I said, she and that KKK leader who just passed away, in my opinion, they lived too long. They should have been paid, but they gonna be paying for all eternity. So if they think they got away with anything, best believe they didn't get away with nothing. But moving on. So another thing that's been all the talk this week is Tucker Carlson, something like that, and Don Lemon. Why don't you talk about that one a little bit, Mimi?
Well, yeah, some people are happy and some people aren't happy. We've seen positive comments and we've seen negative comments.
Yeah.
So allegedly, Don Lemon was fired, and he didn't know he was going to be fired. The day he was supposed to go to work, his agent called him and was like, "Hey, you've been fired." So it was supposed to have been shocking to him, allegedly.
Yeah, they let him do the show and then fired him after.
Right. So a little over 2 months after he apologized for on-air comments about Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley being past her prime, and I think she's like 51. So he was basically saying that, you know, women in their prime are in their 20s and 30s, and she was well past her prime. So, you know, society felt as though he didn't have the right to say that about her. I mean, but I always thought that being a prime was like 25 to like 30, 35.
I would say that the comment might have been politically incorrect for a show host, but it wasn't like they was making it out to be like it was a sexist comment and stuff like that. He was just stating what he believed the facts were, and he was talking about, you know, that's what Google's, you know, if you research what prime years are or whatever, and maybe he should have been a little more tasteful, but the way they was making it seem, you would have think he said something just so horrible. Like, they made it way bigger.
Yeah, and they said he made like a lot of little comments.
His co-workers said that he was hard to work with.
So it's basically like they were just basically fed up with him. So 17 years under his belt didn't mean anything to them. They were like, he has to go.
Yeah,
because
I think this is something I'm gonna say. I think it's sad because, in a sense, because regardless to what he said, you didn't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
But we all, part of this basis of so-called freedom or even having liberties means that we have the right to say what we choose to say. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but respect the fact that he had to say it. I don't think that was worth losing his job.
No, and again, like,
well, obviously they looked for a reason. To me, this is just my opinion, that they just wanted to let him go for whatever reason, and found that to punch him on, because we should be able to say what we want or take a knee when we want. Just because you're a football player, I should have to fear losing my job because I want to make a stand for my people. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? They don't even do that anymore because of threats of losing jobs. That's ridiculous.
That whole situation,
ridiculous.
That's another story. Yeah. That whole situation was just crazy, though. Like, he can't take a knee. Oh, y'all need to cut it.
You can't take a knee. You can't say this. And, you know, I should be able to say what I want. You don't have to agree with it. If you think what he said wasn't okay, cool. You didn't like it. All right. But let's respect the fact that he does have the right to say it. But for whatever reason, he lost his job, you know. And I say this, brother, some bigger things are coming your way.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
He'll find another job.
He's been under heat since last November when he said the U.S. men's soccer team should be paid more than the women's team. By saying that, he said that the men were more interesting to watch.
They are.
And then
they are. I'm sorry. Men's sports are more interesting than women's sports. Like, I could never get into women's basketball. Like, I don't think it's like, I don't know. To me, men's sports happens because I think it's a little more aggressive.
But I think when he said it, they were just looking at his lifestyle and making it seem he was being one-sided and being sexist because of, I guess, what he has going on. And then, you know, and December he got into it with Colin
talking,
because
you know what I mean?
Interrupted him. So then when they had a tense conversation on air. So basically, it's like everything that he said after he made the certain comments, they just kept taking notes. Like, taking notes to this, taking notes to that, and then eventually they made their decision. Like, hey,
that
his
makes
co-workers
it more interesting because you're having two people having a conversation because they didn't agree on something. It wasn't a fit. They said their point of views. They said what they had to say, and to me, that's what makes supposed to be what makes here. You know, because you're supposed to be able to have an intelligent conversation, even though you're in disagreement, without me fearing. I should be able to go to my boss and say such and such and such without me fearing. It's not an attack. It might be something that I'm looking at that could be more, you know, better. Or whatever the situation is. Mm-hmm. Just because you speak on something, you should not have to lose your job over it. It is your opinion. Yeah. You don't have to agree with it. Let's just respect each other and move on. If two people on a news show are having a difference of opinion, that's something I want to see. You know, because it's just two intelligent people having a conversation. Maybe they don't agree with each other, but they have the respect to talk it out.
Right, exactly. People should be able to have different point of views, and be able to discuss it without it being a whole like situation. And like I was watching the clip, and them two women was like, one of them was getting real offended, like, just because she's not, like, okay, he said she's not in her prime, whatever. But then there was like another situation they were talking about where he was on a hot mic talking about somebody, and I really question that. I really question, was the mic on by accident, or did somebody purposely turn on the mic to catch him talking about somebody so that they would get in trouble? It was, a hot mic, like it wasn't supposed to be on. And he was talking about somebody. So it just seemed like they were really just pulling a lot of things out of the woodworks, and his co-workers had went behind his back and like talked junk about him to other news outlets and stuff like that. You would think like that would be a conflict of interest too, like for them to be talking to other social sources about their co-workers. That's not professional either, you know what I mean? So, and he was still working there at the time. So more than likely, like all these little things, they were just looking for reasons. So in hindsight, you might say that maybe he should have known he was getting fired, that he should have known that they were after him, and he should have probably, had his guard up, because I sure wouldn't have felt comfortable. I would have been like looking for new jobs already, to be honest with you. But
I think things are going to work out. Sometimes things like this happen so that the universe can put you in a better position.
You know what? Like,
so that's what I wish for him, and that's what I'm kind of sensing.
To be honest, somebody's going to want somebody like that.
I think we haven't seen the last of him. I think some good things are going to pop up for him in a different version.
Yes, because I could totally see him on another show.
I feel that in my spirit. I feel that from spirit, and so I wish him well.
Yeah. He definitely gonna be on another show where people are very opinionated and like to be sassy about things and talk junk about people. There is a market for that kind of personality.
Yeah.
There's definitely.
That's why they want him and Tucker Carlson to work together, because they're coming from two different ends. You got the North and the South, and it's like they will be very.
They be bashing heads every episode.
There sure would be, honey. There'd be some pots flying.
But that's what the people are wanting. And that's what I've read a lot of things, that's what they want. People want them to go to Fox. And
go to Fox. Yeah.
That could be a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that a bigger platform is going to come out of this for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't look at it and say that's the end. I think we're going to see him again. I know we're going to see him again. I just think it's going to be in a different platform, because this with all this, you can't do this, you can't say that. Listen, I should be able to say what I want. You don't have to agree with me. Just like you might say something I don't agree with, but I will fight for your right to say it.
Yes.
I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're against it. Hey, you got a problem with it? You're for it? Cool too. But that lady shouldn't have to lose her job because she feels this way. I don't care what her situation. I don't care if you don't like black people. Okay, you ain't got to deal with me, and I ain't got to deal with you. As long as you respect me, though, we don't have a problem.
That's right.
There's many people that smile in your face and don't like you. Same color, not the same color. You know what I'm saying? It's about respect. So you don't have to like me. You don't have to like my people. As long as you respect us, we good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to have his own.
I think he is.
I think
he is. And if you see this video, remember, I said it for you. Put me on your show. That's a shame. Doing a promo, that's a shame. But no, I do though. I really feel some good things coming this way. I do.
Yeah.
Yes. So, in other news, there are plenty of things that we heard this week on the streets, but Mimi was telling me, and I had kind of seen a little clip about it, but I really didn't get too much into it. So, what was going on? There was some woman and her child that was locked in the bathroom because they were trying to say they was terrorists or something like that. And I don't even know if we allowed to say that word on here, but hopefully we are.
I think we can, can't we?
You never know, girl. You never know nowadays.
We'll find out tomorrow.
I know back in the day you wasn't, that was a touchy word.
Mm.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. But
Yeah, ever since 9/11, but maybe we could say it now. I don't know, but anyway, it's news.
but yeah, I mean, it's so the woman actually she's either the wife or the ex-wife of an NBA player or NFL player, one of those.
Something like
so
that.
the child was 3, and they said that American Airlines flight attendant locks mother and 3-year-old child in toilet because they caused the T-word incident. And so the mother is like, what do we do? Like, what do we do? So the wife of a former FBI agent who worked in the Joint Terrorism Task Force claims an American Airlines flight attendant sneered and mocked her as she was locked inside of an airplane lavatory with her 3-year-old child. So she's the wife of a former FBI agent.
Oh.
So I mean, it's just like.
So what was she doing?
Right, because the mother. Okay, so I can't pronounce her name, so I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
But the mother is of Middle Eastern and Latina.
Oh Lord, now we profiling.
So right. So she accused them of religious and racial discrimination. So I guess basically she probably had on her. Okay, so this is what it was. Geraldo says the flight attendants picked her and the rest of her family out because they were Middle Eastern, because they had Middle Eastern features and Muslim surnames, and they were speaking Farsi during the flight from Fort Lauderdale to New York last September. So basically, yeah, that's what they did. They just basically, that is discrimination. You are
absolutely.
But who gives you the right to lock someone in the restroom because you don't understand what they're saying or because they look a certain type of way? Like, who the hell are you?
She could, even if she thought that, she should have handled it better than that. You have a captain of a plane. You have other things. That wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary at all. That was ridiculous.
On flights, there's always like a marshal on the plane.
Exactly.
I don't even think that's legal.
You know what I'm saying? I think maybe happening or something. But when the lady went to go change her baby's pamper, that's when she locked them in there. So like,
that's hard.
Well, American Airlines, you're gonna be paying somebody some money.
Oh, that airline getting sued.
Y'all finna get sued, and actually, I don't blame her because if the marshal wasn't tripping, why are you? People,
and I'm like, is that even legal?
People, like, she wasn't a threat. You chose to lock these people in the bathroom for absolutely no reason. That's unacceptable.
I'd have broke that damn door down.
Then they it's terrible. But I hope that they get in trouble.
People need to stop this. Me and my dang sons were racially profiled at the dang mall this past weekend. Okay, well, no, what was that? Thursday. Okay, so on Thursday, like I told y'all, the kids were making a music video with their first cousin. His name is Prince Mandu. If anybody want to go check him out on YouTube or Spotify or iTunes, all that good stuff. Anyway, so they were making this music video and it started to rain. So we were like, well, where can we go to film? The lake we were at was right next to a mall. So we were like, okay, why don't we get some shots in the mall? So we were getting ready to do like a scene where the boys are going up the escalator and then, we're filming him as he's rapping going up the escalator. No big deal. So we were sitting there, just planning out in front of the escalator and nobody was on it. So it was a perfect time. But there was like this security guy that had been watching us like the whole time. You know what I mean? And granted, like, the boys had on bandanas. They were different color bandanas, so it wasn't like they were all the same color that we could be like in a gang or nothing. And my boys got dreadlocks, you know what I mean? And so the guy, now at first I don't think that he was wrong for asking us what we were doing, because of the fact that if I seen a bunch of people like in a group like they planning something, I'm gonna want to know what they planning too, like in this day and age. So he not wrong for asking what we were doing. But then, like, we told him that we were filming a music video, and then he was like, what music video? And then we told him that it was for his. He's like, for what? And we said for his music. And then he's like, did you get permission? And it's like, permission? Now, how many people done recorded themselves at the mall? You can't tell me that people don't record themselves at the mall all the time, just in the mall. And how many TikTok videos you see where people be actually dancing and doing little TikTok dances in the middle of the mall? So it is not uncommon to record in the mall. And there was nobody else in the film, just us, you know what I mean? And so he's like, this is private property. Like, private property? What the hell? This is a public mall. Like, so this man told us that we could not film in the mall. And not only that, he proceeded to come from upstairs to make us leave out the mall. Like, what? And so we were walking to our car, and then they had security come and check to make sure we were leaving. And it's like, we weren't even doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he had a problem with the way we looked. You know what I mean? Like, that just didn't make no sense, Mr. Walkie-talkie man. Okay. You know what I mean? he didn't.
I could see if y'all were like in the way, people couldn't get around y'all because y'all blocking people.
No, it was nothing like that going on.
That's crazy.
It was nothing like that. All he saw was some young men with bandanas looking like what he might have thought was hoodlums or something like that, and he didn't want us to be there. And that's just ridiculous, because we could have been paying customers. He don't know. We could have been recording and shopping. You know what I mean? Like, and even if we were only there to record, it is not a private property. It's a public place. It's a friggin' mall. People record all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So people just, like, I swear. They just don't, people want to have a problem. This world is just crazy right now, y'all. I mean, so many things have been going on. All these stories about now these accidental situations, or these situations where people, these kids just got shot by somebody because they were playing a little prank, like, you know, like they used to call it. Okay, some of y'all, if y'all old enough, it used to be called nigger knocking. Okay. Then they called it ding dong ditch.
Knock on the door or ring the bell and go.
Then they called it like ding dong ditch. Okay, when we had to be politically correct, they started calling it ding dong ditch. Okay, well, they was doing that kind of thing, and this man got in his car and proceeded to run these kids over. And then, like, we had a whole situation with this Uber driver went to somebody's house, and the person, they went into the wrong house on accident and got shot at. Like, all this people just like, so. And my question is, are these people like just sitting there waiting for somebody to accidentally come to their door? Like, how you get a gun that quick? Like, they just wait. All right, who's gonna come to my door?
Sitting there with it on their lap, loaded,
just
ready.
Wish a nigga would type shit. Like, I wish a nigga would, because I'm ready.
Yeah, and that's sad, because that's what it is. That's
exactly what it was.
You know, and I don't know. I don't know if it's the awareness because of Ralph Yarl, or if it's just literally something that people are doing more and more and more and more. But between school shootings and all this accidental situations that people accidentally came up to somebody's house, how do you know that it ain't your family member in a different car? That they just didn't tell you they was on your way to the house? Like, y'all just be waiting to, somebody pull up in my garage, I'm shooting, I don't care who it is. That don't even make no sense. There's delivery, man.
When you have guns, you have a certain responsibility. And a lot of these things that go on, just because you have a gun and you feel that you have the rights because somebody came on your property, they also charged this 85-year-old man. Because not only did he shoot that young man through the door, he went outside and shot him again.
Yep.
I could see if he did the first one out of fear, I could kind of get that. But to walk out your door and shoot him again, you purposely did it. And so you have to you know, when you have guns, automobiles, different things like that, I don't care if it's a bike, you have a certain responsibility with these items that you're possessing or driving and have, not to just go off on a
Yeah.
because I want to shoot somebody. Nah, that's not how that goes.
And everybody wants to say, oh, we need gun control. We need gun control. Guns don't kill people. It's the stupid people behind
Exactly. Absolutely.
We use guns to protect ourselves and to be used properly, not to just be gun ho like they're going okay, correct. You know, like it's crazy. It is crazy and it's sad, and they're just traumatizing the youth more and more every day. It's bad enough that we still have black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible within itself. And it's like you have to look out for every race these days, because you never know who's going to try to take whose life. But it's so many shootings lately. Like, it's ridiculous. Like the kids that were shot going to the prom. I think it was like 9 kids, and it's just every time you turn around, it's something.
It was a prom party after prom, but yes, 9 kids.
Man, it's just like it's sad. It is sad. But moving forward, did you all see the article about the 6 cows that were found dead with their tongues cut out in Texas? So yeah, it was in Madison County, Texas. 6 cows were found dead and mutilated alongside a state highway in East Central Texas with their tongues completely removed. So it's been an investigation has been prompted by the county sheriff's office. So basically, well, allegedly, the owner that owned the cows told that his animals need to be vaccinated, because, you know, allegedly now they're doing that, you know, with animals or whatever. And maybe I shouldn't say no more if we get in trouble again. But I said allegedly, and so they're trying to see if it was done. Who did it? Did he do it himself? Did he kill his own animals to prevent them from going through this, and then he be responsible for people getting bad, you know, meat? Or did somebody in the county do it because he wouldn't allegedly get them properly vaccinated?
I think it was that voodoo priestess that needed to do that spell.
You know what? I didn't want to say it. I was going because I didn't want people to be like, they're going to leave. So I'm glad you said it, because when you cut cows out, you're doing some type of ritual. That's the ritual work. Like that's not no normal kill because I don't want to get vaccinated.
Times of struggle there. It was no blood spilled. It was no footprints or tire tracks in the area at all.
They was doing a ritual to pop a leg butt up there.
They were doing something to somebody.
That's what that sound like to me. 6 of them too.
That the 6 cow tongues? Oh, they was doing a heavy ritual.
Yup. Somebody conjuring up something.
What's the article that I was going to talk about?
And then there was no blood, so either those cows were poisoned, and then somebody took their tongues to do some ritual with, and the fact that they were poisoned alone tells me there's some ritual work there. I think that's some kind of ritual thing. It may not have anything to do with that.
That's what it sounded like. Soon as she said that, I was like, what kind of spell
I didn't want to say it. I did because I could tell my people out there. She go again. But
that stuff is real,
that's
y'all.
exactly what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just.
I didn't even know they were vaccinating animals, which doesn't make a bit of sense to me. I wouldn't even want the meat after you vaccinate. I wouldn't even want it.
And I think that's because he knew, like, once allegedly, if that happened, I guess he knew he wouldn't be able to probably sell the meat or something, because what if he did and then it made somebody sick because they were. I don't know.
We ain't gonna talk about that no more, because I feel like we on the edge of saying something wrong. So when we start talking about the V's,
right, my whole point was talking about was like it's sad because those are, they're still animals. Like, don't be out here just killing animals and carrying on.
Girl, they kill animals all the time for us to eat. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
The only difference is they didn't
nothing
get
to do
eaten.
with the owner. Somebody else did this, but I don't think it's for the reason that he's thinking it's for. It really is not, because that's his cattle is his money. Each cow is probably worth close to about $4,000 or $5,000, or within that range.
That's
so for him, whether they were
sacrifice.
vaccinated or not, for him to kill his money didn't make sense. Somebody else drugged those animals. And guess what? Whoever did this is very close to him. So close to him, he wouldn't even think. But anyway, I'm going to get off. Anyway, yeah. It has nothing to do with yeah.
So that's coming out of his, being taken away from his home. But anyway, so did y'all hear about the mother that dismembered her daughter and ate the body parts while the neighbors watched her do this?
Wait, so, okay.
How the neighbors watching don't do that?
Yes, thank you. Let's go there. Like, it's the first part was fucked up, but when you said the neighbors was watching, that they were like, hold up.
Wait, let me go into the story. Okay, so a Kenyan mother has made international news after brutally murdering her 2-year-old daughter and eating her liver. On Sunday, July 23rd, 24-year-old Olivia Nasserian stabbed her 2-year-old daughter, Glory Nigeri. The attack occurred at a home in Kitengela, if I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's 20 miles outside of South Kenya's capital of Nairobi. So anyway, the neighbors witnessed the gruesome episode take place through a window and reported that as Nasserian stabbed her daughter, she recited the alphabet and sang. She also sliced her daughter open and began eating her liver.
Oh.
So the locals rushed to the home
that's
after
another ritual.
hearing the child screaming. So while trying to break down the door to save the baby, they were able to view the mother stabbing her. With one of them recording it, the mother continued to sing nursery rhymes, dismembering and eating a young girl. Disregarding the people at the door, once finally inside, Nasserian, which is the mother, had collapsed on the floor. Witnesses says her parents also lived at the residence, which is the child's grandparents, but they weren't home at the time. So one of the neighbors spoke with the Kenyan newspaper, The Standard, revealing they heard the woman chanting, "You will never cry again, my baby. You will forever sleep. I love you, my daughter," shortly before stabbing the baby. Then the shaken onlooker stated that she removed other internal organs as well, such as the heart and the intestines. So an aunt of Nasserian, the mother, told The Wire that the young mother recently moved back home after living away with her boyfriend for 8 months. And they said that she was speaking in tongues and breaking windows.
Yeah, she had a whole demon in her. She had a whole demon inside of her. That's a possession right there.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
That's a
it's very
possession.
sad, and may the baby rest in peace. But everybody does not have to be a parent. Like,
no, she had a demon inside of her. That's a possession.
I didn't want to say that either. But that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
It sounded like a form of possession. That somebody put something on her to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's talking in tongues and breaking windows. Come on now. Talking in tongues.
You recall me just a few seconds ago when she said that, I went,
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it was.
That's a demon.
Rest in peace. And then some good news is a teen in Michigan is hailed a hero for stopping the school bus after the driver passes out behind the wheel. So he was a 7th grade. He was able to stop the school bus. He applied the brakes and everything, and told his fellow busmates to call 911. So that was a good thing. Nobody was injured. There was no accident calls or anything.
Good.
Saw her like looking different in the face, and that's what caused him to get up out of his seat and go check on her. But yeah, he was able to stop the bus. So great job, Dylan. Great job. She saved a lot of lives that day, because that could have went bad.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. What have y'all seen that was interesting in the news?
Nothing that I want to talk about. Like, it's too much. It's like, where do you even begin, really? You know, where do you even?
I didn't know that it was a thing in. I'm trying to see, where is this at? I don't know what state this is. Let me see. It's in Town Police Department. I don't know what Town is, but wherever this place is, the father was drunk one night and he pierced his son's ears. So the little boy went to school, and you're not supposed to pierce in this town, wherever they are in this place. You're not supposed to pierce your children's ears at this age. So the boy went to school, and the teachers and the students noticed he had his ears pierced or whatever. So they asked him who did it. He was like, he's talking to his friends now. He was like, yeah, my dad got drunk and he held me down and pierced my ears. So the teacher heard him. So the teacher called the police, and they went Arkansas. They went and arrested the boy's father. They arrested him and charged him with assault.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's sad because the child didn't ask for it, and his father was drunk, and he, forced him into in his ears or whatever. But it's so many other things that people can be arrested for.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So, okay.
But yeah, they charged him with assault.
Not with a pen.
Or whatever he pierces in. Okay. So it's so much stuff going on, and it's like the smallest thing like that could be really bad. So I'm not making light of the situation, because it was traumatizing to the little boy.
Yeah, no. If the little boy didn't want it done,
so quick to arrest somebody for that. What about these kids that are going to school telling you they haven't eaten in days? Their parents haven't been home in days. They're at home getting molested, and nobody takes the initiative
to do nothing.
Right. Household. Kids that don't show up for school, they're not going to do wellness checks. Kids basically are in the house dead and been dead for months, and the school didn't send anybody out there to do wellness checks. So it's like, come on now. Right. Make it make sense a little bit, because it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
This world crazy.
Yes,
but that's about our time, y'all. That's about our time. We gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We appreciate you guys watching our show. We definitely appreciate Elisa for being here again with us tonight. Always a pleasure.
Yes,
what you got for them?
Thank you so much, Elisa.
Anytime. I enjoy myself.
Yes, and don't forget, y'all, our information is over here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you want to be on the show, or if you have a topic, anything that you think we should talk about, email us. Right there is our email. But y'all, hit the like button. Get us back into the algorithm. They still shadow banning us. We thought we had came out of shadow banning and we got a little spark, but now we still there. So we need y'all to help us get back in the algorithm.
Yes, please. And thank you all so much for watching us and giving us feedback on our videos. We truly appreciate each one of you. And you already know what I'm going to say. Be kind. Be kind. It is free. It does not cost a thing to be kind to people. Be kind, be respectful, be loving, help someone if you can. We need to show these younger children that we as adults, we know how to behave. We know how to be respectful and to be, like I said, be kind, because these children are watching us. Regardless of their age, they're still watching what the adults do. Because if you notice, once an adult starts sagging his pants, the kids follow behind and start sagging their pants. Once the older girls start twerking, the little girls are now starting to twerk. We talking about 1 and 2 year olds that don't even know their name, don't even know their colors, not even potty trained. So children are watching you. When you have guns laying around, they're going to be curious and pick it up. So lock up your weapons. That's guns, knives, pepper spray, tasers, all of that. Keep that out of the reach of these children and these young adults that are not responsible enough to have them in their possession. And yeah, so enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be a blessing to someone else. Remember to love yourself first, because if you don't love you, you cannot love anyone else. So thank you all, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.